This is another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD, a podcast about the passionate people who have a heart for students. This podcast is brought to you by Texas Bank and Trust. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. I'm your host, Jennifer Hines, and joining us today is early college high school senior, Andrea Martinez. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to talk to you because early college high school applications are currently open, and those students that are in 8th grade can start applying, and we want to hear from you all about early college high school. But you have kind of grown up in the Tyler ISD school system. Tell us a little bit about your educational journey.
Yes, so I started off in Orr Elementary when we moved here when I was 8 years old, so in the 3rd grade. And then afterwards, I went to Boulter Middle School, and now I've been at Early College High School for 4 years.
And you're about to graduate.
Yes.
The cool thing about going to Early College High School is you're going to actually walk across the stage and get your associate degree before you get your high school diploma, which kind of blows my mind that that is going to happen. That's so exciting. So proud of you. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking forward to as you continue that educational journey when it comes to college and career.
So I've been really privileged that Early College has given me the opportunity to get ahead. I'm really excited for law school, and I can't wait to get there. So getting my bachelor's quicker and having 2 years out of the way is really exciting.
Yeah, so you're only going to take 2 years through what some people would take 4 years to get through because you're already 2 years ahead of everybody else. I love that. And then you want to go on to law school. What kind of law are you hoping to practice?
I'm hoping to practice either criminal law or family law. At first, I was definitely thinking about criminal law because it's the most common, but family law has really touched my heart recently with some stories that I've heard.
Well, wonderful. Well, it sounds like you're on the right track to success. Tell us, what was it when you think back to when you were in 8th grade and thinking about where you wanted to go to high school that drew you to Early College High School?
So definitely the 2 years of free college were the main thing that caught my attention because I'm not really a person that's really interested in sports or anything that's like arts related. Like I've been dead set on my education. I've always known that I wanted to be an attorney, so it was a really easy choice for me.
And obviously high academics because you are taking college courses. Kind of tell me a little bit about what it's like to go to early college high school. I know that, you just mentioned there's not any sports or anything like that, but there are clubs, so there is a way to be involved, and I know that y'all have a very active student body. What is it like to go through those 4 years, your freshman year all the way through senior year?
So freshman year is obviously the scariest year. I think it's scary in any high school. You're just getting to know your teachers, your classmates, and especially at early college because it's such a new concept to everyone. There's a lot of confusion, but your teachers will take the time to really help you settle in because it's a lot to take in at once. But they help you settle in because once you get to your junior year, it's when college classes start to pick up, and you spend a lot more time on that than on anything else. So the first 2 years are definitely like, this is what's going to happen, this is how it's going to be. But at the same time, we've been focusing a lot on having more student inclusion in student body activities because we don't want that to discourage people. We want them to have fun. It's high school. So.
Yeah, you still want to have the high school experience even though you're taking college courses. Yes. So tell us a little bit about how that works because I know your freshman year you definitely start off at the ECHS campus. When do you start moving over and going to classes at TJC?
So sophomore year, if you pass your TSI and you are in good standing with your other courses and have completed certain math requirements, you'll take your first TJC math, but you'll be brought back to campus as soon as that class is over. And junior year is when it really changes. You're either at the TJC campus Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, but everyone's there on Fridays.
Okay, wonderful. And I know that we have Tyler ISD staff that are actually on the TJC campus. So you do have that support. It's not just like, here you go, here's college, right?
Right. So it can be a little scary being at the TJC campus because even though it's a local college, it's still pretty big in comparison to what we know. So our AVID teachers are there to support us and kind of guide us if we need any help there. We also have our upperclassmen, so like anybody above you can help you once they've kind of mastered that level at the campus.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So that you not only have the support of teachers, that you have somebody to go to when you're there on the campus, but you also have the camaraderie with those that have already been there for a year or two and know the ropes from your peers. That's really good to have that support too, that peer-to-peer support as well. Early college, high school, I know it's a lot of pre-AP and AP classes, and that y'all score like in the top 5% when it comes to taking the AP tests. Tell us a little bit about some of the different courses that you can choose, because not everybody has to go on the same path. I believe there's like 40 different course credits you can look at.
Right, so everybody starts off in general studies because you're just getting to high school, you don't really know what you want to do. Once you really start taking your first electives, that's when you start settling in on what major you want to do, what you think fits best, and what's going to transfer to your four-year university.
Well, tell us a little bit about advisory time. I know that y'all kind of start off every day in advisory. What are some of the topics and things that y'all do during that time?
During advisory, we do TSI prep as well as SAT and ACT prep, just to kind of get everybody settled in and familiar with what it's going to be like taking those exams. We also have circles, which is a time where teachers and students have the opportunity to talk to each other about anything that may be bothering them or anything that they may be really excited for, anything they're looking forward to, or anything that they need help with. And we also have PALS, which is peer-assisted learning, where upperclassmen help underclassmen with any courses that they may be struggling with.
Oh, that's good to know, to have that kind of free tutoring right there with you among your student body. Tell us a little bit about what you think would be a good fit for somebody that's maybe hearing this podcast, or maybe the parents are hearing it, and what kind of student should look into early college, high school, would you say?
I think that a student that has drive and wants to exceed quickly through their education should definitely take into consideration early college, high school. I know that was the case for me. I really wanted to advance in my studies above all else, and it's going pretty well for me. I know also there are other classmates who started off at a different campus and transferred over their sophomore year just because they started to lose interest in sports and arts, and they decided that their education would come first.
Yes, absolutely. And so for these students, these students that would be a good fit, they really can go into a variety of different fields. So it is a little bit more widespread, but you have kind of that small campus feel. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the cool things, is that y'all are getting a new campus. They are currently building a 60,000 square foot beautiful campus next to the Career and Technology Center. So next year, those students will get to move in. I know you'll miss it, but I'm sure you'll come back and say hello and take a tour and all of that. But it's going to be neat to see them right next to the Career and Technology Center and have access to some of the certifications that they have access to at the CTC. Tell us a little bit about the financial part. That's a big component. Mm-hmm. You're getting 2 years that you don't have to pay for.
Right. 2 years of free education, free books, everything is free. SAT, ACT testing, TSI, everything that you do there is free.
And TSI, for those that may not be familiar with it, because I don't remember that when I was, I know what the ACT and the SAT, but that's another type of assessment that's similar to those that y'all are preparing for as well. So you're going to graduate with 60 hours, 2 full years. You're going to have an associate degree, and you really, some could go straight into the workforce if they wanted to, but it sounds like a lot of them, your friends, are looking to go on to get their bachelor's. Would you say that's correct?
I'd say that's correct, yes.
Wonderful. Well, this is like a $30,000 value, and that is huge when it comes to the longevity of it. You just mentioned you're looking at law school, so how wonderful that you don't have to pay for 2 years. Not only don't you have to pay for them, but you don't actually have to go again for 2 more years. So you're going to get out of law school 2 years before somebody that is on that normal track. Tell me a little bit about the classes, and then you've got the clubs. What are some of the clubs that are available for students so that, you know, they do still have that student life that you were talking about, and you do still want to have that camaraderie?
So the one that I am in, it's the yearbook club. So we kind of collaborate to see what we can do to show student life in our yearbooks, as well as just putting together some events to really capture what it's like to be an early college high school student. There are other clubs that focus more on things that people miss, like arts and soccer club as well, because soccer has been really big at our school, but because we lack sports, it's been a club instead. And
yeah, and y'all are going to actually have a field with your new building, so that's good too for people to know. And when you have all of these clubs and things, it really does kind of help round out that experience. But not only do you have access to what's at early college high school, I understand that you also get to do some kind of intramural stuff through TJC.
yeah, that's correct. Really, this year, it's been when we really started to see that with some of our students being a part of theater productions at TJC. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, that's neat that you do get to feel like you really are a student of TJC as well. It's not like you're just kind of there for a little bit. You really are a TJC student and an early college high school student. What is it like, or what would you like to share to somebody that is thinking, oh, I don't know, you know, maybe I should go to a comprehensive high school, or should I really consider early college?
I'd say to assess your options and do not be scared by what you hear of early college high school. It's still really fresh, and I know that no sports, no arts may discourage some people, but really the life there is really, I describe it as beautiful because it does feel like a community, and I don't think you'd find that in many other of the high schools. You really get one-on-one time with your teachers, and with other students, there's so many activities that you all can do together. Like in December, we hosted a teddy bear drive for CASA and the Children's Advocacy Center, and we also hosted a gingerbread house contest, which is set to focus on bringing our students together and taking away from the stress that may be like finals or midterms and anything like that.
Kind of have to have that breather in there. You got to have a little bit of relaxation. It can't be work all the time, or you'll burn out, right?
Right. And I feel like people don't see that often, but it's really becoming more prominent at our school, and we'd really like people to come and see that we're not just what they say about the studies. And yeah, well, our scores do show that we do.
Y'all are really smart. Yes, they do. Number one high school in all of East Texas. For those out there that did not know that, that is a true fact by U.S. News and World Report. Can't make it up. It's a legitimate claim. And I know that y'all are big into academics. Y'all even do the UIL academic teams. So you do have a lot of the things that you would find in a comprehensive high school, and y'all do have that sense of community. And one thing that you said is that you like that smaller atmosphere.
The smaller atmosphere really helps you get to know all of your peers better. I wouldn't really say that there's somebody that I don't know at early college high school, which is good because it brings that sense of comfort. Like, I know where I'm at, and that sense of belonging that I feel like a lot of people might lack at another high school. But early college really focuses on making people feel like they have a home there and that there's people that they can go to.
And so you mentioned earlier, applications, of course, are now open for those that want to apply. And you did mention, you know, of course, the normal track would be moving over in 9th grade to the high school. But sometimes people realize after their freshman year that they want to go to early college high school, and that is an option if they've met certain requirements, right?
Right, that is an option.
That's wonderful. What would you say to another parent that is thinking about this for their child? I know it's different talking to parents versus talking to other students. What would you want the parents to know?
I would want them to also not feel scared because I know that once college comes around, like it's starting to sound like that empty nest.
Yes.
But it's not, it's really not. Everybody is safe at early college, high school. I'd encourage parents to think about what it would mean, like you said, in the longevity. Like, what does it mean financially? And what does it also mean, like, emotionally? Like, it's much different at a regular high school. I'd encourage them to come visit our campus and meet with our principal because...
Yeah, take the tour. You can tour.
Yes, there's a lot more than what's shown out there about early college.
Wonderful. Well, what with the registration, not registration, but the applications now open, definitely probably need to get on that. For those that are listening that are interested, you can always go to tylerisd.org /ECHS, and that's where you can find the applications. You can go online. You can also do a paper copy. You can call them. I'm sure that the school would be more than happy to help anybody that is interested figure out the application process. And I know that there's some paperwork involved, and there's also an interview. What would you say about the interview process? How did that feel for you?
The interview was a little bit scary at first. I did have a 3-person panel, and it was in person because it was pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I know it kind of changed after COVID. It was, I think, a 1-person panel and online.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit intimidating, but a lot of those questions I was fairly familiar with because it was kind of what I mentioned in my application. So I didn't feel as intimidated as I think I should have felt. I
Looking
felt pretty
back,
confident.
yeah. So I guess like round 1 for those that are interested would be filling out the application, and then that's reviewed by teachers and educators, and then round 2 is kind of the interview, and then I know that there's some like an academic quiz and other things that they go through, and then you find out. Again, applications open through March 1st. Usually they find out by April 1st if they've gotten in, and I know that maybe mid-March they might find out for sure, but I think that it's a great experience for so many different of our students, and every year it seems like the graduating class is growing larger and larger, and being able to have a new facility for next year is going to allow y'all even more room to grow. Is there anything that you would love to share with those that are listening or watching that you think they'd like to know before we wrap up the podcast?
I'd say that early college and their involvement in our community is growing by the day. I'd say to definitely keep a lookout on that because our involvement with our community is becoming more and more critical, and we're emphasizing that as part of who we are and our identity now.
I think volunteerism and learning that early in life is very important. Thank you for sharing that. One other thing that I wanted to mention really quickly is that people need to know that you don't have to live in Tyler ISD in order to attend early college high school. So you don't have to live within the school district. You can transfer in from another school district, so that's also another plus as well. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you, and again, congratulations on hopefully wrapping up your senior year here pretty soon and going on to the next phase of getting your bachelor's and then on to law school. We wish you all of the best.
Thank you.
And thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Talks with Tyler ISD. If you would like to learn more about all things Tyler ISD, you can always check out our website at tylerisd.org, or you can go online and get our external newsletter to learn all about the things that are going on at campuses across the district by going to get.tylerisd.news. We'd like to thank our sponsor, Texas Bank and Trust. Subscribe to Talks with Tyler ISD on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify. Please share this episode with your friends and family.